about young people telling their stories about their lives, about the neighborhoods they live in.
It's about partnership and working for a society where children have their place.
Nationally, being able to represent the diversity in governance structures and how young people are affecting change within their local communities living in the city.
Listening to young people's voices and sharing those voices and those stories so that we can create better communities for children and youth based on what children and youth think.
It works to include youth in municipal processes, which I think is something that's really needed in Canadian cities.
I've become stronger in being able to talk to at meetings or whatever, so it's helped me out in a lot of ways to do that. Being able to explore different areas and meet a lot of different people from different organizations and stuff, so it's been really awesome.
It brings attention to youth in cities. It brings attention to their world and how they see that world. And it allows them to feel and to show that they can influence a system for change.
Growing up in cities, what we try to do is to help them to look critically at their neighborhoods and beyond maybe what they might see as the superficial issues to some of the factors that maybe may not be so evident on a daily basis that are creating the conditions that that they have issues with.
It's a lot about process. It's about being strategic, about where we can find our alliances.
Being able to go out there and talk with young kids, and have them, be provided an outlet for some of their voices. I work at a magazine that helps to do that.
I think very importantly it's a research project in that it builds on young people's knowledge about the local area and then challenges them to investigate further issues that they identify and to come up with plans of action that are based on information that they can substantiate. The thing that struck me across all the sites where we've worked, from North America to South Asia, is how rare it is for young people to have the experience of an adult really listening to what they're saying. It's actually quite frightening how rare it is. So I think if you don't have that experience of an adult really listening to what you're saying and responding to it, well, participation becomes rather meaningless.
The idea of governments and and institutions actually interesting them, being interested in what young people's perceptions of their environments are, that's a very innovative thing, at least for me.
Most of the time they think that they know what we want, but most of the time they don't.
I think it's important that youth be involved with local governance because local government can't choose what is right for youth. Youth have to be involved in decision making for themselves.
They're the experts in what they need. So if they, for example, they say they need a skate park, they're the best ones to design a place like this, or they're the best ones to tell the people the best way to inject the money.
You have a lot to offer from the perspective of thinking of things outside of the box. They haven't been involved yet in this sort of process, and they're not kind of stymied in this is the way we do things. So they're always ready and prepared to offer a different view, and they bring different energy.
Young people have lots of ideas of their own that can go a long way, and that adults need to really pay attention to them.
People who are older get into a rut sometimes, and even if you're a creative thinker, when you have a diversity of age groups, you're looking at things from a different perspective. I think that without doing it, we're losing such opportunity.
Obviously, youth have a stake in today and tomorrow. And it's really not about tomorrow, it's about today. And certainly want to give them the opportunity to do so.
Everyone that lives in a community should be involved in local governance because it affects them. And I think the problem in the past has been that young people haven't been shown how they can get involved and haven't been told what actually impacts their lives. And that's a hard way to start thinking if you're never shown the doors are there.
So you have to make sure that you provide training in how cities work to youth so they know what the system is.
If they don't get to know the system, they can't change the system.
I think for youth involvement, a good starting block is something that you're passionate about, be it skateboarding, community gardens, or greater policy change. A great way where youth can start is affecting something that's meaningful to them, that impacts their life on a daily basis.
Young people have made a difference in their local area. They've worked to clean up the area. They've worked to redesign parks. They've worked to take over and sort of reprogram, rethink vacant properties. They've created safe pathways. They've made videos to broadcast their stories to a larger audience and put the pressure on the government to deliver promises. They've initiated planning projects, given input to larger planning projects, created partnerships with the local police to address police harassment issues with youth.
There's tremendous young people out there that are in Vancouver that are getting to different policy tables right now.
In a way, we stood up because now we have the police board meetings and like talking and like let them be aware of the issues that we're going through and that what we're dealing with, and like kind of trying to put a stop to it.
I think what has been most remarkable is the value of community support in municipalities. For example, in Shelburne, the youth growing up in Shelburne, we're trying to fundraise and for the purpose of building a skate park, but where they actually made headway was when they began to involve the community.
We went out and improved our public image by doing like good things, by doing the Skate for Food drive and all that stuff. We were kind of just like, skateboarders, you know, like they're gonna go break stuff and wax curbs and make old ladies fall down. I don't know, now it's not so bad.
I think that is one of the big opportunities that growing up in cities gives us. We as organizations, as cities, we all need to learn how research can be done by all of us, by young people, by academics, by youth organizations, and that's how we can bring change in quicker ways. We can use that research and have a creative loop to bring about change in ways that really meet young people's needs, because so often we don't involve young people in the decisions that affect their lives.
The GUICC program is amazing. It's set up to facilitate that type of dialogue and work.
I've been living most of my life here in Vancouver for about 10.5 years, so yeah, I pretty much grew up in the city.
I'm trying to top myself out of getting high. 10 pieces got me asking reasons why. Looking so lonely.
It's really hard to say where do we feel safe in the city. You know, it's a city. There's a lot of danger out here. There's a lot of gangs. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of abuse, you know, to our native people.
Got me asking reasons why. Looking so lonely if you don't even know me, but I try. I fall, and if you find me on the ground high, pull me up before I die.
It was a school, residential school, and she said she hated it because she got whipped a lot.
Think that still affects your grandma?
Yeah,
How do you see it affecting her?
because like sometimes when she gets really mad, like she starts crying because she remembers all the bad things that happened to her when she was little.
Yeah. You think it affects you?
Yeah,
How does it affect you?
because whenever I see her cry, it makes me cry. And right now I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Never liked school. Too many racist people there. I tried talking to like the teachers. People cut me off, and then like I get more ignored. And then the teacher will say like, "I'll be there in just a second." She totally forgets about me, and then it feels like I'm not important. So I just kind of feel like I'm shrinking. They treat me like that I like steal from them. That I'm not a true person. That I drink, that I'm a violent person, so they're scared of me, so they don't want to like come anywhere near me. That's the kind of thing they do.
Well, sometimes your friends, like, you know, you got a lot of city kids that lived here their whole lives. And they don't know anything about their culture. They don't know anything about themselves. They don't know where they come from. And so I guess in a way, in a sense that like, you know, especially as Native kids, like Native youth, you know, growing up in the city, you feel lost and you don't know where you come from. And so you react to that and you just, you know, all this anger comes out. And so sometimes it's like, you know, these youth get mad and they do really stupid shit, you know, like steal cars and breaking in entries and like robbing people, and it's a lot of craziness.
Being out late at night is kind of, I don't like being out that late by myself because especially along Hastings or somewhere up the street, there's always those guys driving by trying to pick you up. It's really gross.
You know, living in the cities, you know, it's easy to say, you know, I hit rock bottom last Christmas, because I did. You know, it's easy to say that. It's almost cliche. It's like I've been strapped to a yo-yo, just kind of bouncing off that rock bottom for like months on end. But that passed. You know, that passed after I came into mentorship. Mentorship was the key that got me out of that cycle. And yeah, that's why I work with Kaya, because they're there to support youth. You know, I definitely need that support.
We feel safe at these youth drop-in centers, you know, like, you know, because you know, you go to these, you know, to these youth workers, and you can talk to them about stuff, you know, and it's all confidential. And, you know, they have experience because a lot of the youth workers also grew up in the city too, and they know what it's like to be a Native youth.
This guy was talking about that there'd be 7 generations of hard times for us, and that like after that 7 generations we'll rise up and like there will be no more I like to say depression from us, because like we've had it hard, because I know for the past 2 generations that like we had to go like to that what is it, residential school. Ooh, that was like horrible. We like gotten beaten up and stuff. It was horrible. And that like since then like people have like gone into whole drinking and thing. That's how we got the whole like name Chug. And like I don't like that because it's like their fault for doing that. And Stan said after the 7 generations the youth will be like the ones who would like come back and like stop all that. And I think that is so cool, because I feel like I'm like sort of one of those, and that I want to help to like be like one of me. That's all I have to say.
I really encourage youth to look inside themselves and, you know, find those songs and find those dances, you know, talk to the elders. And I feel that if more youth do that, then, well, there'll be an uprising. I really believe that someday there'll be a big uprising of Native people as a Native nation, you know, and be stronger for our children to come, you know, and for their children, and break the cycle and break the chains.
Transformation, good to bad, as an adolescent bastard wasn't hard to find. Rapping about life, love, loss comes from my mind, body, and soul. After I'm dead, where's my spirit gonna go? I know some, I guess I'm at the flow on. Where the story go wrong, inside an incident. I'm not convinced coincidence that we defy genocide. I celebrate and ride, well death is inevitable. We got memories that are unforgettable. Like a million masks told for smallpox to crack rocks. We all struggle, so what you got? Are you a victim or a victor? Nothing can stop these dreams I'm trying to top myself out of getting high. Temptations got me asking reasons why. Looking so lonely if you don't even know me, but I try. I fall, and if you find me on the ground high, pull me up before I die. Pull me up before I die. I'm trying to top myself out of getting high.
Hi, my name is Jorge Carrillo and I run the Environmental and Sustainability Club at Windermere Secondary School in Vancouver, BC. I am originally from Mexico City. I'm 18 years old.
So the idea in this project was to start at the school, create a great green space that's really needed in the front of the school that's kind of been an eyesore in the community for a long time.
This is actually the beginning of a bigger project that we have in mind. The original project, the original idea, is to create a greenway, a bikeway that can actually connect all of the elementary schools to the secondary school and also to the more like to the community centers. So we're trying to create this sort of like bike highway that will be accessible for like everyone, for like children, youth, adults. That it could be like such a good alternative to cars, right? So yeah, that's our main vision, like our goal in the future.
I think they do it because it's fun.
Over here, where there's just grass, we wanted to put in ferns because they remind most people of the forest, and rocks city. We want to bring back some of the forests.
One of the difficulties with this community is there are some major traffic arteries that go right through. They sort of knife through Renfrew Collingwood.
I don't think you're supposed to park like that. We're trying to make it seem like we are actually a school that cares about its environment, right? And yeah, it's like friendlier looking. The problem that we're having right now is like in order for us to start taking action on this project, we actually need to get permission from the houses in front of the school. It is a challenge because they're gonna have to pay for these changes in a lapse of, I think they're gonna have to pay for it for over 15 years. They're gonna have to pay something like $80, right? So it's not something that they could say, yeah, let's do it, you know? They have to actually be aware of it, and you know, they have to be aware that they're gonna have to make that investment over the period of 15 years.
I think they do it because it's fun.
There's the upfront people. Hey, you guys, come in. Here are the new members of upfront. This is Mash, well, Sasha, and here's Nikki, and this guy, his name is Patricio.
So what's it like working with Jorge?
It's fun because he's a real person, not a teacher.
I think they do it because it's fun.
And you see, this is the reason why I think off-ramp works really well at school. Because the kids and I, well, my friends and I'm not gonna call them kids, because we're almost the same age. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know, we're just like really close to each other.
I skateboard all the time, and I make music my life. That's about it. Hang out with friends.
When we go out and skate, we're like a team. We're more or less just skating because we all enjoy the sport. So we're always encouraging each other and just more or less just having a good time, because that's what skateboarding's about.
Why do I skateboard? Well, I suppose it was something to get myself out of trouble when I was a kid. I've known since grade 5, so it's been my entire childhood. I guess it helped me, I don't know, get away from all those crazy things you do as a young child, like get in trouble. And then people getting in trouble, I was just skateboarding and learning how to do tricks.
It's almost indescribable, like what skateboarding has done for me and what it's shown me about people. And most skateboarders I run into, even if they're not necessarily the greatest people or the warmest people, when they're on their board, it seems like they can be, you know, maybe even a completely different person. And I want to see that perpetuate. I want to see that I want to see that continue through the younger generations. Like, a lot of people don't recognize it as a sport, but it's promoting like a healthy lifestyle. So I'd like to see them maybe recognize that stuff a little more. We picked a pretty economical form of transportation. They don't really care for that. I don't know, I'm still not exactly clear on what they see as the huge problem. A lot of kids like to skate and stuff, but get a little discouraged because there's no really reinforcement behind what they're doing. They could be made to feel that they're not being supported in their decision to skateboard.
That's what we're working on.
Good.
The skateboarding without a helmet fine, which is $128.75, which I almost received once. There's destruction of property, which could probably go for anything besides skateboarding. And there's also the good loitering fine.
Plus there's the skateboarding act, whatever that is, and it's roughly $215. And so yeah, there are fines available.
Having a skateboard is not like having a bike, it's like having a weapon. It's reasons like that that make signs like that. And which is unfortunate because we still have yet to break down that wall of stereotypes.
Did you ever see so many skaters with helmets on? Yeah. All right. What do you think?
Okay. This is Skate for Food.
So what are you doing?
Nothing much. Collecting food for the food bank.
And Shelburne's not a very good place for skateboarding, is it?
No, it kind of sucks. There's nothing much at all to skate, and we've been trying for a long time to get something, and nothing seems to work.
It's going to work this time, right?
Oh, it's going to work this time.
Sorry.
How did you think the Skate for food drive went today?
Everybody
went really well,
smiled now.
and we
Smiles.
had a lot of food, generated a lot of publicity about our group. And
We about to set this one right. We about to do this for all the kids, the brothers, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Intro!
Une des meilleures façons pour les jeunes de se sentir bien dans leur ville est de s'impliquer au sein de leur communauté.
Ils peuvent le faire par le biais de différents conseils jeunesse qui ont pour objectif d'offrir aux jeunes la possibilité de faire bouger les choses à leur façon.
Bien qu'il existe plusieurs conseils jeunesse ayant un fonctionnement différent, ils constituent tous un moyen de se faire entendre, d'avoir du poids dans la société et de contribuer au développement d'une ville à l'image des jeunes qui l'habitent.
Voilà l'ambition du Bistrado, de la Commission jeunesse et de la Table jeunesse Outaouais. 3 exemples de conseils jeunesse efficaces dans la ville de Gatineau, au Québec.
Nous sommes allés voir le Bistrado, un bistrot pour ados, et nous leur avons demandé « Mais comment fonctionne votre conseil de jeunes? »
On s'est aperçu à fil du temps que c'était mieux de faire un comité d'où tous les jeunes pouvaient décider quelle activité qu'ils voulaient faire. Et là, ils ont pensé à ça, mais ils disent, nous autres, on est les leaders, hein? C'est nous autres qui initient les activités, puis c'est nous autres qui font ça. Ça fait qu'on aimerait ça s'appelle le comité leadership. Au Bistrado, tous les jeunes font partie du comité leadership. Ça veut dire qu'à un moment donné, dans leur participation à la Maison des jeunes, ils vont décider d'une activité, ils vont planifier une activité, puis ils vont réaliser une activité.
Mettons, ils disent « Quelle sortie que tu veux faire? »« Ah, moi, j'aimerais ça aller faire de la snow à telle place. »« OK, on y va. »« Ah, ben, tu vois que t'es pas rien. Ta présence puis ta parole sert à quelque chose. »
Ça prouve que je suis capable de monter un projet, puis que je suis capable d'atteindre mon but, puis ça me donne confiance en moi.
Ça nous aide à se connaître en même temps parce qu'on n'est pas sûr tout le temps de comme qui qu'on est, puis ça nous prouve qu'on est capable d'arriver à faire de quelque chose de bon.
Ça nous montre qu'ils ont confiance en nous autres, de savoir qu'on est capable de faire un projet comme ça.
Ça nous permet de pouvoir faire une activité, mais sans nécessairement que ça soit les animateurs qui l'aient fait, que vraiment ça soit des jeunes pour des jeunes.
On veut accompagner ces jeunes-là, on veut qu'ils vivent des réussites.
Moi, je trouve ça bien intéressant.
Regarde la caméra, fais sourire!
Un bon intervenant, c'est une personne qui va laisser les jeunes faire des choix, qui va les guider dans ces choix-là, qui va les laisser faire des erreurs aussi pour apprendre de ces erreurs-là.
Moi, je trouve ça bien intéressant.
La Maison de jeunes, c'est un peu une mini-société, quand ils vont arriver dans la grande société, qu'eux continuent à prendre des décisions, continuent à s'impliquer.
C'est la philosophie de la Maison des jeunes, puis je pense que ça devrait être la philosophie de toutes les maisons des jeunes, puis de tous les organismes ou de tous les groupes qui travaillent avec les jeunes.
Moi, je trouve ça bien intéressant.
La commission jeunesse est née dans l'ancienne ville de Hull le 6 février 2001 à la suite d'une grande consultation auprès des adolescents de 12 à 17 ans. La création de cette structure est intimement liée à la volonté politique d'assurer une place, un droit de parole aux adolescents au sein de leur propre ville. La commission jeunesse représente aujourd'hui plus de 14 000 adolescents.
Vous êtes un bel exemple, la commission jeunesse, d'un programme, d'une structure où impliquer les jeunes.
On pourrait utiliser notre image positive pour démontrer qu'il y a des choses le fun à faire dans notre ville.
Et même en tant que membre du conseil municipal, on est très fiers, même on s'en pète les bretelles tellement qu'on est heureux.
J'imagine que les jeunes aussi ont quelque chose à dire dans ce domaine-là. S'ils veulent être impliqués dans le développement de leur ville, il faut qu'on puisse avoir leur feedback.
Here we go.
Nous, les membres de la commission jeunesse, on va vous le donner, notre point de vue. Ici, on discute de tout. Pour l'adoption du procès verbal de la dernière rencontre, est-ce qu'on l'a lu?
Est-ce qu'il y aurait façon de s'organiser pour que le graffiti, les comme 3 graffitis gagnants, mettons, puissent être reproduits et mis à la vue de tous?
Comme si tu es intéressé à plus t'intégrer dans ta ville en tant que bénévole, t'écris ton nom puis tu peux le donner.
Sous peu, on va mettre sur pied une coopérative jeunesse qui pourra prendre en charge le bistrot pour ados.
On va commencer avec Mme Denise Fortin tout de suite, qui était dans Varia, pour la semaine de la promotion de la vie, de la prévention du suicide.
On note près de 60 suicides par année dans l'Outaouais, donc ça touche tout le monde.
Je pense que le gros problème dans les écoles, principalement au secondaire du moins, c'est qu'on ne connaît pas nos travailleurs sociaux. Le sujet tabou de si je vais voir un travailleur social, si je vais voir un psychologue, c'est parce que je suis malade, c'est parce que j'ai un problème. T'as pas besoin d'être dit malade mental pour aller voir un psychologue, genre ça n'a pas rapport, mais pas en tout.
La table jeunesse Outaouais est un regroupement de 5 tables locales qui a pour mandat de se pencher sur les problématiques concernant les jeunes de la région. Les membres, qui sont âgés de 18 à 35 ans, élaborent entre autres le volet jeunesse des planifications stratégiques régionales et gèrent un fonds créé spécifiquement pour financer des projets et des initiatives jeunesse.
l'importance pour moi de travailler avec des jeunes, je trouve que c'est des gens qui sont passionnés, c'est des gens qui ont plein de rêves, qui ont plein de projets. Puis je trouve ça tellement agréable de travailler avec eux parce que il y a pas d'obstacles. Tu sais, on dirait que tout est facile, ils ont plein de motivation. Puis moi, j'embarque.
Ça donne le sentiment de faire quelque chose dans la région pour les jeunes, de s'impliquer et de pouvoir donner leur opinion puis de prendre des décisions par rapport à leur milieu. Nos recommandations qu'on amène sont habituellement écoutées à un niveau supérieur, c'est-à-dire au niveau provincial. J'ai l'impression que les jeunes s'impliquent de plus en plus, mais c'est difficile d'aller les chercher. Mais ceux qui veulent s'impliquer, il y a la place pour s'impliquer.
Si tu prends pas ta place, si tu veux changer le monde, puis tu fais rien, tu es assis chez toi à la maison, mais c'est pas comme ça que ça va se faire. Si tu viens ici jaser avec nous, tu nous parles de tes idées, tu nous parles de tes projets, puis tu es innovateur, puis tu as des visions, ben viens ici, tu sais, c'est ici qu'on va pouvoir les réaliser avec toi.
Avant de commencer à m'impliquer dans les forums jeunesse, je m'étais jamais vraiment impliqué dans mon milieu. J'étais plutôt rebelle contre à peu près tout ce qui pouvait exister de système à travers le Québec. Je me suis rendu compte en cours de route que je connaissais pas ça, mais dans le fond, là, la politique, ça appartient au peuple. Tout ce qu'ils disaient dans des 5 à 7, dans des salons, que les gens refont le monde tout seuls assis dans leur petit coin, mais on pouvait le faire avec d'autres gens, en public, puis on pouvait réussir à changer un petit peu le monde de notre façon.
Tu sais, je les encourage, fonce, continue, abandonne pas, lâche pas, parce que c'est important.
Impliquez-vous, informez-vous, allez plus loin que votre première impression. Parce que, dans le fond, c'est possible de changer les choses, puis c'est possible de changer façon de faire aussi.
Comme vous avez pu le constater, par le biais des différents conseils jeunesse, les jeunes ont un véritable pouvoir dans leur milieu.
Lorsque les jeunes peuvent s'exprimer, tout le monde en sort gagnant. Faites comme nous.
Prenez votre place. Nous ne sommes pas la relève de demain, mais bien celle d'aujourd'hui.